Welcome back to Stroke, the art of mental stimulation, man. You guys already know what time it is. You got me, D-Luv, sitting here on the mic, and right next to me is my brother as usual.
What's happening, y'all? How's your evening going so far?
Oh, man, I can't complain, man. It can be better, but, you know, I'm elevating them on this mic. This is my safe place, man. I'm ready. Let's get it.
All right. Space and time, we got to enter it.
Space and time. This week, what we're talking about this week is a kind of continuation of last week. Last week was kindness versus flirtation. Where do we draw the line? And, you know, we feel like, you know, we like all of it. You know, we don't like a piece of it. We don't like to leave nothing out. We like to dive in full-fledged. So,
leave
you know,
nothing on the table.
Leave nothing on the table. So we feel like it's a little bit more we can dive into this. So guess what, man? Welcome to part 2.
I hope you have your scuba gear.
All right, we're diving?
Well, yeah, you said dive into it, man. This is 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 20. Give it to them how you get it.
Man, you already know what time it is. We keep it really raw, honest.
Indeed.
We go there, man. Transparency at its finest, man. So get ready. Get ready for the stroked experience. You know what time it is.
You're about to get stroked up.
All the way up. But going back to that, man, we really want to touch on the aspect of kindness when it comes to, you know, people thinking that when you're nice to them, that you're automatically flirting with them. You know, people don't know how to accept people that are just nice and kind in this world, man. So how do you feel about that, Stro?
Well, it's a bothersome thing when you think about it, because when it contains or pertains to the opposite sex, naturally any act of kindness can be perceived a certain way. And generally speaking, the negative happens this way the most. Okay. If a man perceives kindness from a woman, that person will run to it.
What do you mean?
That means that the woman is automatically interested in him, you know, so they start thinking in their mind, she was nice to me because she wants me. You know,
you think that's in men more so than women? Like that's specifically men? That's a big thing?
Not necessarily. It depends on the environment in which one grew up. Because that plays a role on your thought process. That starts to control your perception.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, typically, sadly, in our region, men probably behave that way the most.
You know, when I think about it, though, you do find that more often that, you know, anytime, because maybe in his mind, he's already sexualizing her. You know, he's already attracted to her, and he's always I can't get it out. I get tongue-tied every episode. He's already thinking these things about her. So now she being nice, he think that's an open invitation. So he automatically just take off with that. You know, he don't know what she's really thinking, what she really feeling. That's just kind of like hope. I hope that she's interested in me. Right. So I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with him, at least try.
Why not just accept the kind act? You know, we have voices. You know, we talked about communication before. You know, if there's something you want or you're interested in, it's okay to speak. And it's okay to accept denial. That's
the thing. A lot of people don't like rejection.
They don't like rejection.
That's an entirely different episode.
Man, so let's run with our perceptions at the minute, right? Yeah, you're 100% right. We're going to have to come to that one.
All right, I like that, man. Rejection. I have to write that in the book, though. But yeah, women, too, though. You know, I see a lot of instances when women might be at a store or might be just walking around the mall or something. As soon as a guy say hi to her or whatever, I'm taking. Yeah. I already got somebody. I don't want you. You know, that's the automatic thing. So I don't know if is this new in this world or has it been like that? Because I know right now people don't communicate. We live in our phones. We don't really talk. So outside of our phones, we don't know how to exist inside of this world. So what do you think it is?
It's more prevalent now because of how media has changed. Everything that we have access to, again, it creates instant gratification. So anything that happens to us, immediately we overreact or we're extra emotional. So we're more hypersensitive at this present day than we've been in our society.
Like right now, actually talking to someone, getting to know them and expressing interest is going inside the DM. So it's direct. I'm going inside your DM. You know, when somebody come in your DM and they saying something, they being nice and kind, automatically you think, I mean, that's intent. That's a purpose. I found you. I'm in your DM. I'm not in everybody's DM. So they kind of using that in the outside world as well because that's all they know right now.
There are a lot of methods in which people are trying to, you know, steer the line in a negative way. So, you know, we're trying to understand for ourselves and for the people, you know, is kindness automatically a flirtatious behavior?
What correlates the two? What point in this world did it go, somebody's being nice to me, so they have to want me? Where did that line fall? Because like we said on the previous episode, you know, we're taught to be nice. We taught to be kind. We taught all these things, and we wasn't taught to be nice and kind. You get something in return. We taught that's just what you're supposed to do. So what point in life does it come to that when all that changed?
You know, I would say when we've finally grown and, you know, evolved as a person and understand that we should be about love. But you made me think about something when it pertains to the flirtatious act. You know, some people or in society, there's an acceptable phrase about, oh, well, ain't nothing wrong with flirting. You know, it's innocent.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. Well, is it always?
No, it's not always innocent, but I guess when it comes to flirtation, it's just kindness until it goes further. Like it goes back to intent, man. Because I could just be nice to you. I could be nice to you and tell you you're attractive. I could be nice to you and tell you smell good, whatever, but don't want nothing in return. So, like, where does that happen? Where does that line come into play?
You know, this is going to be a hard one because I was going to say this. You know, I actually do wish we could be in a society where we didn't automatically sexualize every single thing. And if we did decide to be, say, flirting, like a joke. See, because this is the problem with using the word flirt. Flirt carries flatter. Okay? You know, I love how the sign is in sign language for flirting. You know, it looks kind of story-eyed.
Right.
You know, and that's the beauty in that. So I wish we could be that way, flattery to each other, and it be an innocent thing, but still stemming from a genuine place. Our problem is our world and society is corrupting this thought process. So we're typically on the high negative more times than we're on any positive thought pattern.
Go ahead. You know what I do find most of the time? When you have certain people, and I see it mostly in women, men too, because sometimes they act like this too, but when they make a big deal out of someone actually flirting with them or trying to talk to them, because they're not used to attention to me.
Right.
People who are used to attention, they're used to that all the time. They don't make a big deal about it. But when I'm so sick of them in my DM, everybody always trying to talk to me. They have to make a big broadcast about it.
Right.
And I think that just because they're not used to attention, man. So
they're lacking something within themselves.
Yes, that's what it is. They're lacking something within themselves. But something has people afraid of someone being nice to them. I don't know. I'm still at that point. Where's the line that we got to this point where we think niceness automatically correlates to flirtation? You know,
again, I get pulled in a direction of we've been controlled in that thought pattern. Think about the type of movies that create that thought process, that any interaction of kindness is sexualized. Remember, we talked about the fact that we live in a sexualized world. So automatically kindness means flirt. It means sex.
I think, people aren't used to people being kind to them unless they want something. That's probably what it is. You know, we're in a world now where a lot of people, I'm not being nice to you, I'm not being kind to you, I'm not doing these things for you unless I want something in return. No one is used to people just being who God, created us to be. Just, what do you say? Be kind to thy neighbor. Be nice to thy neighbor. People are not used to that anymore. It usually is something following that afterwards. And maybe we're conditioned now because of that.
I agree. So the world is flips upside down.
And I was thinking about
a little bit, interaction, right? Watch your associates, y'all. Nah, quick. But that's one of the things that we have to remember is it says it's better to give than receive. See, if our intent is always of a selfish nature, we're looking for something in return. So when we act in kindness, we're looking for only what we benefit from. See, that's not being better to give than receive. Most of the people in our world don't think in that type of philosophy or terminology.
Right.
I can give you some of my energy innocently. And yes, I can look at you and appreciate your beauty, in fact. Shoot, I could tell a person they look very nice. You know what I'm saying?
And not want anything in return?
And not want anything other than love back. I mean, if you want to know what I'm demanding is love back.
That's such a simple concept, but it's so hard for a lot of people to grasp what you just said,
man. Well, that would be too much of us trying to emulate Christ-like qualities or angelic spirits.
I just think that's what communication comes into play. If I want you like that, I'll tell you I want you like that. If I'm flirting with you and I wanted to go further than that, and I'll tell you it goes further than that. I'll let you know I'm flirting with you. I think you can tell when someone's actually flirting with you. Like you said, you got something going on within yourself when you can't accept just a total act of kindness. Something you need to do. There's some shadow work going on right there.
We all need to do that, We don't want to isolate ourselves too much that we get trapped in our own thoughts and we start seeking our own selfish gain. And that way, when we do act in kindness, we know we just being needy. That's another thing that people struggle with in themselves. You said need attention, right?
Right.
Needy. And it's like, we got to be careful, man. Look, live off the principles of love, man. If somebody you want, tell them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you being kind and you want them, tell them.
Open your mouth, man.
Man, come on. You know how they say it, closed mouths do not get fed.
Right. And then people also look at kindness as softness, too. I don't know, I want to go there. Being soft. Like, even in the music today, in the media, if you listen to the music now, listen to how the disrespect for women, the things they're saying. Back in the day, man, Isley Brothers and what's all that other music? Earth, Wind, and Fire, and that's kind of before my time, but I'll let you know the music I like to listen to. Man, all they talked about was love and kindness or whatever. Now you do that, man, you lame. You lame, man. You a simp. You hear that word, simp?
I heard it before. I think my
That's
child,
Houston.
My child might have explained it to me.
Oh, wow. That tells your age.
Well, I mean, I could be 25 with a child.
Oh, okay. 25 with a child. Are you?
No.
Okay, maybe in spirit.
Ain't anchored like a tree, rooted down to the ground.
Oh man, but it's unfortunate that you can't be nice to people and people can't accept it. I think they have walls up, and maybe it's in the past someone was kind to a person, someone was totally nice to a person, and they end up manipulating them or something, or using that for their own gain, and now people don't know how to accept it.
Right, you made me think of something. When it comes to acts of kindness, maybe the only type of kindness they're familiar with is the one that comes with certain benefits.
Got you. The only person who's ever been nice to them was something sexual. Or intimate. Man, a lot of people associate kindness with intimacy. I'm not going to say, this is probably totally off subject. I'm about to be transparent here. It was one point in my life because, I didn't grow up in a household that was very emotional. We didn't really show a lot of emotions like that. So at one point in my life, I didn't really hug people. And I didn't really want people touching me or anything like that. And then I associated intimacy and kindness and love. I associated with intimacy, kindness, and love. I mean, if you were hugging me, whatever, I figure that's for my partner.
I can relate to that a little bit.
Yeah, that's my partner, someone I'm, on that level with. Like just a normal person walking up and giving me a hug and all that. Man, I don't know what that is. Why are you touching me? And that's how I used to be. And it took a kind spirit, someone that was full of love to open me up to that.
I can agree with that.
They lended me their energy at all times, no matter what. No matter if I was closed off or whatever, they were still right there. That's one of my best friends right now.
It's crazy you say that because one of the first persons that taught me how to really embrace. I went to a church one time and I was invited, of course. I went and I walk in and this person comes up. And I didn't know the story at the time, but they were like, "Hey, welcome, James."
Right.
Call me by my name. I was sitting there like, oh my God, okay, here we go. So I embraced that person. And that person didn't give me what they call a church hug. That person gave me real love.
And I don't like church hugs.
And I felt the energy coming all the way through my body, man. And I got to learn that person had just lost their mom and their younger sister.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Initially, did it arouse feelings that didn't feel like friendship like? Did you try to sit there and
Not at all.
So you knew immediately?
Immediately. And look, let me fill you in just in case people can't see this picture clear. This person was a very attractive woman at that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I got my own personal story, and you get a little bit more familiar as we open the pages up a little later, right?
Right.
So, this individual, embraced me despite the fact that we were two attractive people. Mm-hmm. With all this love that I was like, wow, this is real. I don't even know this person. You can feel that energy lifting your spirit, and you can feel the warmth, and you can also feel some of the heavy.
Right.
Okay? Mm-hmm. And from then on, I said, you know what, forget that. I don't care what people think. I'm going to hug a person if they need a hug. In other words, I'm going to be me. I'm going to be genuine.
Right.
Not genuine, but genuine.
I think the lack of understanding what true kindness is and not associating it with anything, I don't want to go dark here, but don't you know a lot of people have been killed over that? I watch the ID channel a lot, and I see a lot of instances like on a job, it was this girl, and she was very attractive, and there was this guy, he wasn't really desirable, didn't have a lot of female friends, or he probably didn't get out. He's probably one of those guys that sit on the couch all day when he's not at work and just to himself all day. And she was nice to him all the time, and so-called at the end of the episode, this girl ended up dead because he was pulled over on the side of the road. And she saw his car, she knew him from work, like, hey, she stopped over there to help to see if he's okay, whatever. The guy ended up raping her, and the guy ended up killing her after he realized what he did, and he didn't want to go back and tell, just from her being that nice and being that kind.
It's crazy.
That's crazy because, he wasn't used to it.
So guess what? So automatically when we see things like that, we can start getting programmed to think that any type of kindness might be mistaken as weakness because, that's a thing in our world as well, right? Kindness is mistaken as weakness.
We're defensive towards it now.
Right.
Because, like you said, like I just said with the hug situation, I even grew up like that. A lot of people think intimacy and kindness go hand in hand. They think your partner is supposed to be the one to show you those type of things or say those type of things. So they have a line there. So when you're doing certain things, it's automatic to them. It's crossed. I'm good. I'm taken. I got somebody. So
that's why we got to work on ourselves internally. Yes. You know what I mean? That's why it's so important to look within and ask ourselves, are we trying to be connected to a higher power? Are we trying to be the best version of ourselves at all times?
Right.
It's not to say that we're looking or seeking for perfectionism, but understand that within us, we got to find ourselves so we can be us when we walk in this earth or outside of ourselves.
Right. The thing that came to my mind, I was going to say, is we need to rewrite the narrative, but I want to scratch that because the narrative is already written. We need to clarify the narrative. We need to get an understanding of the narrative, man. God put us here to be kind, nice to each other. I mean, that's just what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to lead with love. So you need to learn how to to accept that. I mean, if you know your worth, number one, you know you're supposed to be treated with kindness. I mean, you know, a person's supposed to be good to you, and be open to that. And man, show that same love, man. It don't have to be your partner, man. It's just how we supposed to live.
Mm-hmm. If I said there was nothing new under the sun,
right?
You know, would you minimize that statement or call it too cliche? Because I'll say this. All energy has always existed. In other words, love has always been here, or you connected to it. The older you get, the more you realize that. Because, you know, I used to, you know, people used to say that, like older people. I'd be like, man, you know, go sit down somewhere. You know, your mind, you know, you're old. You don't know what you're talking about. Then as you get older, I'm seeing the same things happen again that happened when I was younger, maybe in a different way. And these kids thinking it's something new. And you're watching them like, do you really think you're doing something? Here's a clue.
What?
Take fashion, for example.
Yes.
Right? Right? And then we take dancing, for example, right? And I mean, you and I both love to dance. They don't want to see us cut up on no stage. I promise
you don't, man.
You know, watch that. Watch that spirituality dance on you.
Man.
You know, that's what it looked like in public display.
Okay, let's see it.
But, you know, there's nothing new under the sun. So, you know, we're acting like we are doing something so unique, so different, but it's misplaced.
Yes.
What should be unique, right, and different is finding that love or that vibe. You know, tune in on Fridays, you might catch it. You know, that'll start you off to find your tune so you can align yourself with that spirit. So kindness and flirtation won't even be a problem. You won't even think in terminologies because can't nobody define nothing for you.
Right. Except niceness, man. Except kindness from someone. If they don't directly come to you and communicate that they're trying to do something more, take it as that. Even if there is their intent. If they don't open their mouth and say it, what they say, closed mouths don't get fed, man. Just take it as what it is.
And if it's for you, it'll come to you anyway.
Anyway, man, automatically. But we're not going to hold you guys that long. We just want to dive into that. You know, like I said, we like 100%, man. We ain't want to leave anything on the table. We want to make sure we get it all. Right. No scraps, huh?
Now, sometimes if you drop scraps and you got dogs in your house, they'll eat it up too. So be careful now.
Oh, Lord, I don't know. They're not in the kitchen, are they?
No. Hey, look.
You must going to drop it. Where we dropping it at? Because if they're in the kitchen, I can't eat at your house. I'm sorry.
Oh, tell them.
Especially cats. I don't know. That's
no, you can carry.
That's totally on the tangent, man. Yeah, especially cats. I'm not a cat person, man. But man, we about to get on up out of here. But you guys know what to do. Go to the @stroked STROK'D _ the podcast and follow @stroked STROK'D _ the podcast. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you let your friends and family know that they need to subscribe, man. You better get on board, man. Don't miss the boat, man. Don't let it pull off without you. And you guys know what just happened to you. You just got stroked up. Bye.